Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV for Week 4 of the Premiership Division, sponsored by Feint Gaming in the battle between MONGI Mode and Feint Gaming themselves. I'm Lucky, and I'm joined by wiethoofd on production, whose birthday it is today, so if you want to give him a happy birthday in the chat, lads, that'd be very much appreciated. And I'm also joined by Eemes as my co-caster. How's it going, man?
I'm good, Lucky. How you doing?
I'm doing swell. So, today, Feint Gaming, MONGI Mode, two good teams in Premiership. How are you feeling about this one, buddy?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think Feint Gaming would definitely see themselves as the superior team. They're probably the more established team. You know, they've been alive for longer. But MONGI Mode, they've got some up-and-comers. They've got some really good DMers. They've got a strong main caller in Yak. And I think they've recently had some good coaching from, I believe, Wanzu, who is, you know, they were a bit down in the dumps maybe a couple of weeks ago, but they've seemed to have a nice resurgence with, I think they had a decent result recently, although I can't remember who against. Yeah, we're looking pretty strong.
Yeah, especially the last game that I casted that I really watched MONGI Mode on was when they were facing Ascent, and they did really well versus Ascent, like surprisingly well. And Ascent is sort of seeded to be that, like, you know, the seed 2 team in Premiership to try and rival 7, of course. But doing well against that team really sort of put them in a position where they look strong in comparison to a lot of the other Premiership teams. So hopefully they really have a good showing here, because if they can do well against Feint Gaming, who knows, they could potentially take, like, say 4th place in Prem, sort of middle Prem, rather than coming bottom Prem, like a lot of people tried to predict they were going to do. But obviously Yak is a force to be reckoned with, especially now that we're on the maps of Gullywash and Logjam. Gullywash, a very favour for the demo man, Eemes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've already taken 6 points against Vukruve, so looking probably like, I know, I think they could definitely get maybe 6th, 5th, maybe even 4th if they're pushing it. But this game is going to be crucial for MONGI Mode if they want to, and also for Feint, really, because they dropped points to the Theorists yesterday. Yeah. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Which is actually, you know, that's pretty difficult for their playoff hopes. They really need to start cracking up the 6-0s if they want to actually definitely make it into their 4th place, which they think that they are worthy of, but they're going to have to prove it with this match today.
Yeah, indeed. That is, of course, with Feint Gaming sporting the wonderful roster rundown of Ombrak on the Medicine Man, the Scouts of Kunu and Ixie, obviously, coming in with Operation Pound Town from those Scouts, Soldiers of Polygon, and we have a stand-in of Josh, and Demo Man of Smirri. Of course, these are very well-known names by now. If you've been watching TF2 for a long time, you'll understand these names, you'll know them inside and out, and you'll probably respect them quite heavily. But what about the side of MONGI Mode, Eemes?
So a lot more up-and-comers on this team. Almost all of them have played in around Div 1 for, you know, from maybe it's like 10 seasons in the Axe case to maybe 2 or 3 in some of the other players' case. But although Sweet is one player who has played Prem before, but I think pretty much the only player other than Opti a long time ago on a French team for whom this is not their Prem debut this season. But we have Seeds, Seeds fan. I'm going to keep calling him Seeds. So read it off the thing. Swee and Thomas on Scout. We have Opti and Mathis on Soldier. Torre on Medic, and Yak, the main caller, the British Demo Man legend, on Demo.
Well, we say legend. It took him a little while to get into Prem. He had the curse on him where he couldn't make it into Prem, but now he's here and he's making a name for himself, and it's going to be looking good for him this season. I believe in the power of Yak, Eemes. I believe. Yeah,
definitely. He's I don't know. I think it was definitely kind of a baptism of fire coming in, playing Ascent immediately, and then what was their second game? I think they probably lost that one as well. But you know, I think they're coming into their own now. They've played, you know, this is their 4th game. They took 6 points last week, looking actually pretty comfortable, which is something that's hard to say. Even though you'd expect them probably to beat Vukruve, you know, winning that so cleanly is really a testament to how strong they're looking as a unit. So it's going to be should be a close one.
It should be indeed. And of course, we have the emergence of Logjam, which has replaced CP Badlands. Rest in peace, its everlasting soul in TF2 will never be forgotten. But that last cap time killed it, so now we have Logjam instead. And speaking of Logjam, what do you think of Logjam, Eemes? Because I love Logjam. I think it's a beautiful map currently, and I love playing on it. I don't know about you.
Well, I hesitate to, give it my full conclusion so quickly because I haven't I'm not playing the seasons. I haven't played it that much. I played it a little bit yesterday, and I did enjoy it from what I first seen of it. But going to reserve judgment a bit. It did seem pretty fun from first playing it, but I always kind of like playing a map that I haven't played very much before, so that might be biasing me towards it. But it seemed to have a nice flow. You got a nice choice between really quite different flanks you can go through. You can go long through cave or short through log room, which I'm going to be calling them. And the last is pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah, I took it to be called Ramp Room because they replaced all the staircases with a bunch of ramps, and Ramp Room slides off the tongue better than Logs or Log Room or whatever it was called before. So that's just what I've been calling it consistently. But we are starting to get players in the server. So any predictions for this match, Eames? Who do you think is going to come out on top on Gully Wash, and what do you think the scoreline is going to be for this match?
I think Gully is going to be a hectic one. It's going to be a lot of rounds back and forth, lots of crushing mid fights, one from one team, one from the other team. But I have to believe in Jack and his boys, and I'm going to say they're going to take this one 4-3 after a very back and forth game.
Oof, still close though. Still close in your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, I'm gonna take MONGI mode on this one, and I'm gonna go for 3-1. I think, just throwing it out there. I think they might get in a few sharp rounds and they might surprise Faint Gaming, or I'll be completely wrong, and which is most likely because none of my predictions have been correct so far. So you can sort of tell how good I am at this. But yeah, what do you think about Logjam? What team do you reckon? Obviously, you haven't seen either team play on it, so you're going to be going in a little bit blind. But any predictions you kind of want to make just as a throwing out there?
I would say probably Logjam is more likely to be Faint's map. I don't have a huge amount to base that off of, but I saw them doing fairly well against Ascent yesterday on it in scrims, and I think Gullywash, even though it's the more played map, the way it's so close in, it has a lot of opportunities for just kind of chaotic pushes that may not favour Faint, because they like to have a very slow, methodical playstyle, but Logjam is quite open, so they can probably just slow things down and make sure they pick people off one at a time and just play as a group a lot better on Logjam, and they'll probably suit their playstyle slightly more, although it is kind of a wildcard map, so it kind of depends. Last pushes will be very key, I think, because it remains to be seen whether meta has been worked out for last pushes on Logjam, and whether the teams are going to be able to execute it efficiently, because it's really probably one of the hardest things to do on a new map, work out exactly how you want to push last and make it consistent.
Yeah, it's a sort of an interesting last. I don't think anyone's tried to do just a main barrel push yet, from what I've seen out of the scrims that have been played, but it's mainly just been left and right, like you said. But it's also interesting to see the kind of switch up in different sentry spots. I know there's 3 main sentry spots that they're trying out on Logjam mainly. One on the brick on the left side if you're holding, or on the right side, or you can just put it dead in the middle, and that seems to be something that people are trying as well. There's been a lot going on in scrims between teams, so we're going to see how these teams have sort of decided they're going to play this. Obviously they're in Prem, so they're going to have talked about it prior, and they probably played it a lot more than the average Joe. So we'll kind of see what will come out of this one. But a bit of a weird prediction. Who do you think is going to die first on mid? I like doing this.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to have to put it to Josh. He's going to go deep.
Oh.
He might get a lot of damage, but I think he's just going to die, because he's that kind of roamer that will go in and make a lot of space, but he's going to have a rough time. He might even win the mid for his team, but he will die early. But that's a 1 in 12 prediction. I could be right, I could be wrong. But we are going live.
We are indeed. I was actually going to say the same player, but we are, of course, going live, like you say. This is Gully Wash, ladies and gentlemen, for week 4 of the Premiership Division, sponsored by Faint Gaming, and potentially see you at Copenhagen, lads, as well. So here we go, boys. Josh is into drop down nice and early. Ixie getting that pressure on the down nice and early. Josh is actually really low on drop down right now, insanely low. In fact, the Swede's going to look for him, but Polygon is the first casualty of this war, and looks like they're managing to survive underneath the point right now. Not a lot happening right now, but Swede decides to go up. Nice air shot coming out from Polygon right there as he manages to take down the demo man of Smiro. But Ombrak also going down in the back lines, and Ixie trying to get on top of the turret right now, but not really finding anything. And Koff is the only one left alive underneath the point, but does get spotted out by the pipes of Yak and does go down. And that is the first mid fight going to MONGI mode.
Yeah, and we really see just nothing doing from the soldiers here from Faint. Soldier is probably the most important class on Gully Middle, and Josh went under, he did a bit of damage and dropped down, but got absolutely destroyed. Had to take an arrow from Ombrak, and even then he didn't really get much done. And Polygon was on the floor, I think he got 2v1'd or something, but really neither of the soldiers making any space for their team on that mid, and just yeah, Feint, the soldiers really struggling to have any impact at all.
Yeah, really struggling with that one, but it looks like they are going to start making their way in towards the last point. They are just coming through main right now and do decide to use the Uber, but unfortunately Thomas gets headshot and dropped by Kuno even, sorry, and looks like they're just going to take the Uber onto the point. Sweer's getting onto Smiri, but Smiri takes him down with the assistance of Josh in water, and that is going to be the Uber push thwarted. Unfortunately, Thomas going down immediately, so that's just a big old yikes coming out of that one.
Yeah, definitely. Really, it's one of the disadvantages of going main. You can't really peek it before, and there's no window to look through, so the sniper just getting that perfect angle. And Opti will go for the sack here onto Ombrak, I think, but he has got caught in and absolutely no damage. So it's only 40% for MONGI mode. They're going to be backing out to mid, and Ombrak's probably going to take this in for free unless he drops in this sticky trap, which has not been checked right now. Although he does det it in the end. Yeah,
they did indeed get that trap, so they're just going to be coming forward. Sweer is actually in right now, but in the forward spawn, but just decided he's going to back spawn off of that one. They are going to just stack this one. They still have Uber advantage to work with, and they probably know this. They are starting to bust right now into the second point, just trying to get as much room as possible. Josh is in nice and deep, getting loads of room for a team. Smiri doing the bomb over, actually onto the forward spawn as the sniper was hiding in there, but he does die for his troubles. And now the Uber advantage has not been swayed, in fact, because the turret pops out early. And they do try and make the bomb directly onto Ombrak, but he uses his Uber and gets nice and deep there as well with the rest of his team just moving forward. We do see Opti coming in from behind onto Ombrak, gets one rocket and two rockets, does take him down, and that is going to make the Uber situation slightly better, but tons of casualties for this one.
Yeah, lovely salvage play there from Opti, but really the problem in that fight was that turret, I mean, the MONGI mode, they decided to take the Uber aggressively into them at choke, but they popped so early, and Turret actually dropped off the high ground there when he was just in such a terrible position after the fight, just had to run straight away as soon as he could. And it's made it really difficult for them because their positioning was so bad. But they have got 30% advantage here and one pick, so they could be able to take this in if they're quick about it, with really no Feint players coming close. But Ixie has actually gotten a nice frag on the Toma. It's going to make it quite difficult for them to push out now.
Yeah, as Opti tries to bomb around there, he tried to get on top of a choke right there even, and couldn't really find anything, and did have to back all the way out there, and it looks like MONGI mode are just going to go back to last. They don't really want to contest this one. It's really hard to push out Gully last, especially when you lose one or two players, especially now that they've lost Yak. Smir getting really aggressive onto Torah as they aren't able to hold that shot, but Smir goes down in fact. And there is cap time currently happening on the point right now, and that is Cornu trying to do his best to just sort of delay as Smiri did go down, so it could have caused a push out, but with that pressure onto the point, potentially they might decide that they're going to wait, in fact.
Yeah, really quite a poor death there from Smir, just getting caught out by the scout. I mean, his job is just to pressure there, but really he should never be going down, because it just makes it so easy for MONGI to defend that, as the Ubers are forced off from both teams. Slightly better Uber for Feint. They're going to go really aggressive. Josh getting a nice frag from Thomas, and the scout's going to have to fall out lower. Yak is also dying again. This could open up the opportunity for another dry push into last with the demo down for MONGI mode, and Opti also down as well, so it's a 5v3. This should definitely be around if they're quick about it.
Yeah, Smiri with a nice pipe managing to catch Opti with that bomb. We do see Kunu coming in nice and early, and that is Josh getting on top of the point, and they do just cap that one, as there was loads of cap time still remaining from the previous push that they made, where they sort of botched it, but it was alright in the end. Because it did mean that they're going to get the 1-0, and that's Feint Gaming taking the first advantage on this one, Eames.
Yeah, we see two last pushes out of last there, where Yak has died like way too early, and it's just meant it's so free for Feint to come back in. The first time they didn't quite execute it correctly, but the second time, no demo, and they can just walk straight into last, and there's really nothing that Matt can do. It's the only explosive class to hold at. Do you see the second mid? Josh going super aggressive. We'll die first on this mid, and it's going to be probably a favour for MONGI mode, as the soldiers have just done nothing once again, although Tora has gone down.
Yeah, Tora going down there was a bit of a surprise gameplay there, as he did get bombed and then just got Skaskan down at range, but Ixie does manage to find a kill on Mathers, but doesn't really manage to find anything else, and it is getting out right now. Smiri and Ombrak are actually trapped in lower. They're getting sandwiched by two players, and there's a nice collapse coming out of Thomas. He's just in onto them and kills both of them. Well played from Thomas there, just getting into lower, cleaning up for his team, and making it so Tora is going to have this Uber advantage for last.
Yeah, it's a decent actually Uber advantage for Turret here, and really, what you see that you really don't want to be sacking three players with the medic at mid. It's just not worth it at all. Maybe one soldier can kill the med, and you can play heals, but more players than that, and if they can get any kind of chase, then you're going to get absolutely crushed, as we saw. And really, I mean, slightly more impact this time for the Feint soldiers, but really they're not doing the crushing bombs which hit two or more people with their rockets, and you know, just makes so much space and damage for their team that you like to see on Gully Rush middle. They're just kind of, I don't know, they're not having very much impact.
Not so, to be honest. But Feint Gaming decided they're going to build the sentry gun on the left-hand side, as they have got an engineer up right now. Ixie's just trying to build that Uber as much as he can before they come in, as Torret has managed to get a nice 25% advantage, I'd say, and has now got his Uber and has finished building that out. So they do Uber straight away, go straight to the sentry gun, and no damage really getting put onto that sentry gun. It takes a long time for it to go down. That does give Ombrak time to rotate, as no bombs have come in. They haven't got any high ground really as well. They just got Tara standing up there. They've got loads of point time, however, as Opti caps that one out with a pain train, I believe.
That was a really nice play by Opti on the pain train there, but it's just very chaotic blast push there. But what you didn't see was anyone actually playing heavy in spawn on the 450 HP with a buff, which is actually so super powerful in this last push. And because there was no one pressuring the right spawn from Yak's perspective from Feint, and they just gave them so much space, and they basically just won the DM fight because they had better positioning. So kind of a questionable last one from Feint, as we do see this third mid.
Yeah, Josh and Ixie getting really aggressive on the round side, but Polygon is in nice and deep, does get sweet, but Josh going down as well to the Rockets of Opti, and it looks like they are just going to play passively for a little bit of time now. Yak getting some nice damage onto the other side of the point, getting rid of those overheals for his team, as Mathis is now making space towards Big Door, and is looking for that bomb, but Polygon is now in deep, does get a nice rock onto Tomas. Tomas is throwing backwards, Mathis coming in with the bomb onto Ombrak, does manage to take him down, but Kuna getting Mathis, and Polygon finding Opti as well. Polygon eventually getting cleaned up by Tomas for his troubles, but that is looking like Smiri and Ixie have managed to claim this mid, as Tomas and Yak decide that they're going to back out of this one and just wait, as Kuna was in deep, but does get cleaned up with the winger right there, and they do manage to camp out this midpoint. Ombrak is up earlier, but doesn't have anyone to heal right now.
It was a really smart chase there from Kuna to actually come in all the way behind and get Torre. Torre could have been safe if he just stayed with the Yak and choke, but he tried to meet up with his scouts and just slightly mistimed it, and Kuna just taking advantage of it really, with a really nice med pick there. We saw Polygon got a really nice pick onto the scout at the start of mid, but then he just kind of waited around in the enemy's big door, and like he could have bombed in and made a lot of space for his team, but once again he chose to sort of take an arrow, play a bit slow, do like a half commit bomb, and then once again he could have had, I'm gonna say it again, Lucky, he could have had more impact.
He could have had more impact. Impact players, dude, impact players. It's what we need. But Ombrak has a small Uber advantage, but it's not going to be really enough to work off of. But they are just going to build this one up top. Polygon notices is now peeking and notices no one's close, as they are just holding by Big Door. But Josh has actually made it into lower lobby and is trying to make something happen, but does actually we see Kuna on the sniper, didn't even notice that. Does find the body shot onto Opti to sort of even that trade out nicely. What do you reckon they're going to need to do now to push in with this one, Eemes?
Well, they want Koff to get a bit of a pick here if he can. He's trying to peek somewhat aggressively into here, and Yak's not actually holding it. Yak's trying to hold choke. There's almost no one holding Big Door, which is kind of questionable. Although I think Koff assumes that Yak is holding close. Actually, has actually now rotated. Koff's going to go for an aggressive peek. Actually, Polygon is coming from behind, and Turret stunning against the wall, and he gets completely destroyed. Polygon will even actually get out of that maybe, as they do try and come in through choke to get the force, but there's absolutely nothing doing it. And I mean, lamentable positioning from Turret. I think he was trying to protect himself from the sniper, but he was literally inside a wall, and it's just an absolutely easy force for Polygon there.
Throw a few question marks up for that one, but looks like Opti has actually managed to make his way in behind there, and he is actually in and behind Ombrak right now as the spy is going for the backstab. He gets the stab, does find Ombrak and takes him down. Big plays come out of Opti for that one, and he's actually onto Koff as well, and knifes him down as well, and is now butter knifing the scout and assists in the kill. He's insane, dude, and looks like the rest of the team have actually cleaned up while I was focusing on that scout player who's butter knifing players to the nice air shot from Mathers as well to take down Polygon. PogChamp, boys, PogChamp.
That is actually a huge effort from Matt there, because Torret was about 50 HP in the corner behind point, and if Poly had got in there for free, gotten one rocket, he almost certainly would have gone down. So really, really nice play by Matt to defend his med there. And with that crazy play by Opti onto Ombrak, that is setting up MONGI mode for a full advantage, walking into second pretty much for free, and they can take this to last if they're quick.
They are indeed speedy, but Sweet does find Josh there, so that is even more of an advantage play right now, and they have got Koff up on the engineer right now. He's building the sentry gun inside that spawn room, but they opted to get a pyro only just now to get it on top, but they are sending in Yak with the Uber through main nice and early, and Tomas getting onto that sentry gun, and it looks like they are just going to play the point straight away. There are stickies currently on it, with Smiri in secret right now rather than Water. It was a nice bait play coming out from him. Mathers getting thrown directly off the point. Smiri finding all of the frags and damage. They are getting cap time on Papura. Yak going huge, gets loads of damage and assists and 2 kills, with Opti killing out Kuna as well. But it looks like they're going to try and push out Polygon with a nice rocket onto Yak even. Does manage to take him down, and that was really squeaky coming out of the back of that one. That was so close to being a loss for Feint Gaming.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how Smiri actually clutched it, getting 2 kills with his sticky trap there. I think he probably got pushed on pop and somewhere else at the same time, getting a nice debt on them. And MONGI mode going to try and go for a force here or something, but they fed both scouts and doing absolutely nothing there. Kind of a questionable play from them, and once again we see kind of a questionable last push from MONGI mode.
Yeah, Smeary was actually, instead of hiding in water, he decided he was going to hide in secret, and that is not what really demos do. We do see a lot of it hiding behind the point currently. So hiding in secret there, maybe because both scouts went to water to try and find him, didn't find him, and then he get the traps because he had a trap by water, and that's what caused that. The Swedes are peeking from the forward spawn and find Smeary as well. For that one, and Polygon is trying to get as much space for his team as he can, just going up to the high ground. Math is getting low as well. Opti is now in from the lower door, getting onto Polygon as well, taking the trade there. They do trade out, in fact, and Ombrak does pop out as Uber, but Torret at a similar time. And it's just 2 solos right now, but there is a flash coming out from Torret as well onto Yak. But it looks like they are just going to hold this point since they popped out the Uber, but they are making their way back to last and opting not to hold it with so much cap time left on second there.
Yeah, got some nice damage on that Uber, but he was trying to hold it from top as Demo Man, which is really not very favorable because that angle is just so awful to spam and you get absolutely crushed. But a nice repush from Feint has actually gone completely wrong. They all get almost completely crushed with a nice rocket from Matt and Jasmir clean him up and choke. So Feint trying to use that small advantage to get in, and MONGI just absolutely shutting it down with some just really nice counter aggression.
Yeah, I've got a scout in under the point right now, but probably not going to do too much as he nearly gets stuck there actually, and in Banana, but manages to escape that one. So Ubers are even. We're going to see a little bit of a stalemate now, probably. Not really a lot going on. No spawns blocked, so maybe taking a trade at Chick right now, and it looks like that is indeed the play. As looks like Torret and Co are making their way into the point, but Torret gets bounced by the stickies of Smeary. Didn't notice those, and that's a disaster. It does get taken down. He in fact kill binds. And knowing that he did a wrong and Thomas getting killed as well. So that's going to call the push coming out from Ombrak and Co right now as they're going to make their way into mid. But Sui and Opti are hiding in Banana together.
They are indeed trying to salvage this if they can. Opti's going to get onto Ombrak, going to get some nice rockets. Ombrak's super weak, but he will manage to dodge, and Sui will actually go down to a nice sticky from Smear, so there's good defense of their medic from Feint. But really, the problem there stems all the way back to Yak being in the trade as Demo there through choke. I think they might have thought it was Ad, but there was no way it was. And if that's a trade Reba, you should always be Soldier Scout, because Soldier's so much more maneuverable than the Demo in that situation. And kind of Torret having to flash Yak so many times meant that Uber was, you know, just not very good, and Smear really smartly juggling him in. So 50% advantage now, almost, for Ombrak, and we'll see. Hopefully they don't go main, because I've seen that from Yak twice this map, and it's not worked either time.
Yeah, Thomas has opted for the sentry gun, and there is a pyro of Sui, of course, by the shutter rather than in front of the sentry gun. It's just holding back the Uber. It's an absolute disaster of an Uber coming out from Feint. They haven't managed to get anything. Sui has actually been defended and does survive. No casualties for the side of MONGI mode, and Ixie actually the only death within that entire fight. So that is going to give Torret the Uber advantage, and they're going to make their way into lobby right now. Just so unfortunate for Feint Gaming that the pyro is there to block their way. It's such a pesky class. Yeah,
the pyro just kind of. I mean, there are ways to counterplay that pyro there, but Feint didn't really employ them at all. And this, I mean, actually, I think MONGI mode could go back to last year because they have lost that one player. So it's kind of it's a conservative play from Yak. Often, I think, you know, past seasons of Yak would have definitely pushed out here, but maybe the Prem experience is sobered his main calling up a little bit, and he's playing a little bit more passive. And I do like that because, you know, this is an important game, and you don't want to just cost a lead by doing an unwise push out of last. So they're going to be resetting here.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're so hard to push out of last when your roaming soldier goes down and isn't there to hold the lower shutter and assist the Demo Man with anything he needs and all that stuff, which is sort of the default, I would say, in so far in the Premiership Team Fortress 2. And they're not getting engineer back up. They're just opting just for this pyro since it worked out for them last time. Maybe seeing if they can get something done. But Scorch Shot being banned and the Detonator being banned means he's gone for the flare gun, which is an interesting pickup.
It's much worse than the other two, although it can crit people, so that is pretty cool. But it's definitely a lot more balanced. Like, it was so stupid the way one like tiny particle hit from the detonator would just make you burn for super long. You didn't even have to hit it accurately at all. As we do see Kunu trying to get some peeks into River, he's going to have a nice peek there. Torret's trying to duke around. He actually peeked for so long, but he didn't take the shot. Torret may have been safe there, depending on his positioning, but Koff could have been maybe slightly quicker. He could have gone on a crazy shot, but really the soldiers from MONGI mode need to be holding this a lot tighter. They've not even got any eyes in River right now. No one's holding close. Yak has some stickies up, but a really porous hold here. And Koff's going to get in once again. Going to take a shot. He will miss though. But if that was Creddy, Torret may well have been dead.
If it was Creddy, he would have shot him through the beams, regardless of that angle. But it looks like Josh is just trying to poke and spam right now from River. Koff trying to make a play from from Launchpad as he gets that all the attention drawn to him. A bit more passive coming out from both teams right now. No one's really trying too much instead of the sniper, but Koff does actually find Sweet there, so that's the pyro down. And Opti dies as well, but it does force out the Uber there from Ombrak. So they are going to make their way in. Thomas actually has the Uber used onto him right now. Torret is now running out into Smiro right now, and they do kill him. Mathe is trying to clean up on River right now, pushing Josh all the way back. And it looks like they can come out of this one nice and easy as Koff goes down as well. That's 3 casualties for the Son of Fake Gaming, so they need to start backing out here. Polygon is caught in a bit too deep and does in fact nearly die and gets pushed all the way out by Thomas. So there's going to be some cat time and a successful push out coming out from Monkey Mode.
See if they actually want to take this to mid on this 5v4. They could do so, but Smir's going to hold choke pretty tightly, so it's going to be difficult for them to get through there. What was interesting about that last was Koff actually forced Torret by just peeking one peek of sniper. I don't think he actually hit his shot, but Torret was so afraid of getting headshot at close range that he just forced immediately. Or do you see Monkey trying to bust really aggressively in here, and they will get pretty much through choke. Obviously going to get a nice fragment of Polygon trying to get them through. They're all super weak on Monkey Mode, trying to, I mean, Smir's just spamming them out so easily, and really they should have tried to get in flank there, but they're all going through choke and they're all taking so much spam. This is not good for them.
Yeah, they are all weak right now. There's red health on all of the players on the side of Monkey Mode, but they do actually find a frag onto Smire again, which is unfortunate, but Sweet going down. So that's the first casualty, but Thomas is receiving the beam and is going on to Josh right now, who has decided he's going to re-push the point. And Ombrak has actually popped out as Uber, as he does get forced there by the pipes of Yak. And they are moving all the way back, giving Torret an 100% Uber advantage to work with now, coming back into this mid. So the pressure, keeping up that pressure was a little bit messy, but did end up with them having an Uber advantage, and they are going to start to make their way into mid. Polygon hiding above the choke point, just above Torret right there, and it isn't dropping down just yet. Torret hasn't used yet, he does get spotted out, and is taking loads of damage right now, and getting forced back by the scat gun of Sweet and Thomas, and they are making their way all the way out. Koff is not on sniper, so they're not going to have that pressure from Victor, but they have used the Uber into second, as this fight is lasting for absolutely years, but it looks like Polygon is going to get caught there by the stickies of Yak. And that's going to swing the Uber advantage back into Ombrak. Whether they want to push out or not is another question.
It was a really nice milk there from Torret on mid, though. Both soldiers, Polygon and Josh, trying to go deep into him. And he was at one point on 30 HP trying to run through into his choke, but he didn't pop. A really nice defense, pretty much. They didn't actually kill either of the soldiers, but they did push them so far away they couldn't go onto Torret. And Ombrak is opting to push out through this top area here. He's going to take a lot of spam as he goes. He's already half HP. It's going to be difficult for them. Josh has gone super deep onto the soldier, though. They're going to be probably just walking through here, and actually taking this more or less for free. Sweet's going to try and go for a play under, but he will die to Smear. And they could actually take this to mid. 70% right now for Torret, so Ombrak and they're actually going to go through drop downs. They're getting really aggressive onto his left side, and they may even Uber deep onto Torret. Polygon's in.
Yeah, Koff is moving up really deep right now onto Yak and does manage to find the kill onto Yak, in fact, and they still have Uber. They have not popped it, and Kunu actually forces the Uber. Ombrak hasn't used yet and does decide to pop it out to save Kunu, as he was so deep in that choke to get that Uber trade. But it looks like Thomas is managing to hold him back there with a few nice meat shots onto an Uber player, but is probably going to trade away his own life and does in fact go down as Ixie joins the fray. Smiri is deciding to also walk forward now as well, with Polygon coming in from Big Door to assist the rest of his team, and they do manage to find 2 kills, and that could spell a last push if they're fast enough with this one coming into last.
It was really nice heads-up play from Ombrak. Even though they only had like a 20% advantage, just going in through drop down really, really aggressively, and they just really caught out Mongi Mode, as they will be pushing super aggro onto this last tier. And they're actually just going to cap it straight out with so much aggression on top right, and then the scout on point. I think that was Ixie. Oh no, that was Josh with the pain train actually. So that's really nice, really smart. Once again, we see a pain train soldier capping last. But yeah, it's I mean, really, that play, that all stemmed down to the aggression on mid there, and just Mongi Mode were just not watching drop down at all, and they get completely punished for it.
Yeah, that's the problem with having 2 down when you try and hold a last on Gully Wash. You don't have that player probably to allocate to that last point, but we are seeing another mid as Josh going in nice and deep. Does find Yak really early. Thomas finding Josh as well there as soon as he dies for his troubles. And that is going to be Feng Gaming starting to come across this point really early. Sweet going down as well. It's going to spell disaster, but Torek is still in and does in fact go down. And that is an absolute disaster coming out from Monkey Mode. They are all going to get cleaned up right now as Opti is in on his own versus 2 scouts, and we know how that ends, Eames.
We do indeed, but that mid really all about that play from Josh. He gets the demo not only with those 2 rockets, but also gets so much super amount of damage onto Torre and the scout around there, and pretty much for the whole mid, Monkey Mode were just sitting in their choke, and Smear was just like, okay, I see you back there, I'm going to walk over the point, and he's just gets enough damage that they all push back, push into the corner, and Polygon can bomb him for free, and really just that all stemmed from the space created by Josh with a really huge mid from him.
Absolutely massive indeed, and Olbrag now has a full Uber to work with and is going to start moving his way into lobby, and they're going to decide how they're going to take this Uber. He's actually rotating his heels towards River right now, so just buffing up his flank maybe before they go. And actually they decide to Uber through with 2 scouts straight onto the sentry gun right now. It's taking a bunch of damage, but it's getting healed up there by Thomas as it is now gone down. And let's see if they swap into heavy, and they have actually listened to Eames, and they have got the Poot out onto the point. HMS Poot with 450 HP. What are they going to do about this one? Not a lot by the looks of it, as they are all getting mown down. Smeary is the only survivor and is actually all the way back, and they are going to be able to push out on this one thanks to Thomas's beautiful lawnmower gameplay. Yeah, that was super depressing there. The Pyro was sitting on the corner on literally 5 HP at one point, and he got, I think, arrowed twice by Turret, and that meant the Smear, who was trying to get in from Shutter, was just denied by the Pyro for so long. He couldn't do anything to lock out the Heavy from you know, denying pretty much their whole team. As Josh will make a nice play to drop down here, will force Turret pretty early. Probably might actually get caught big door if he's not careful, but it's a nice mid-take from MONGI mode. And actually, it's not even too much advantage run back here, so they should be able to hold on to this. But really, the problem in that last push was the Pyro just lived for so long, and he got arrowed twice, in fact, that he just delayed them. And the Heavy was 450 HP late into the fight, and he crushed them. Indeed. And Thomas is actually in pretty deep into the point right now. Does get cleaned up by Ixie, and this is just a dry push by the looks of it coming out from MONGI mode. But they have actually managed to get deep onto second, so that is going to be able to take it. Koff going in for the hero shot, doesn't manage to find onto Torres Dome, and looks like they are going to take this one as 4 players down for each side. Sorry, 3 for the side of MONGI mode and 4 for the side of Feint Gaming, means they are going to be holding last with this one, and they've opted for the Pyro straight away. On Brack with the small Uber advantage, but probably not going to be pushing out in this one. No, probably not, and as we saw, they had a tiny Uber disadvantage, but they had 1 pick, and that was really pretty much needed. They just played really aggressively on that big door, and the scrappy fight with that 1 pick ended up going in MONGI mode's favour. So it's really nice clinical aggression there for them to actually take that point without losing turret and utilise their pick advantage. Yeah, we don't classically see the one-man push advantage coming out from any teams right now, as maybe going for a bit of a banny gameplay moment where you take a bit from the Americans across the pond, where you just want to W into people as soon as you get 1 pick, but that does appear to be happening right now, which is exciting. But we have got Ixie currently up on the engineer and Koff up on the sniper, so potentially going to find some heads, hopefully, as we do like some Koff sniper every now and again, but does actually get killed by Sweet, as I say that, who is also up on the sniper class right now, is sniping from main and does find his dome and takes him down. So Sweet getting cleaned up right there as well, unfortunately. So just a bit of a reset. Josh is currently up on Black Box Conch as well. Yes, that's an interesting choice of his to try and hold that river area. It's pretty nice to be able to just not need to be tanked by your medic so much and be able to hold close and just farm a lot of your health back. And it does mean that maybe in a couple minutes when something starts happening, Josh will be able to pop up his banner and try and get some stuff done. He will get the fragment of Thomas. They're going to be pretty close to the banner now, I expect. But Feint, they're going to be pretty happy to just sit on this last tier, and it's all up to MONGI mode to try and break this hold. Yeah, just chilling out. Polygon has also got the battalion's backup. The battalion's backup takes 800 damage to build it, and the Conch takes 600 damage to build it. Conch obviously applying the heal effect when you hit people, and obviously the speed boost as well. But with the battalion's backup, reducing damage by 30%, I believe it is, as well, and reducing any sentry damage as well by 50% itself. So they're not going to need the sentry resistance, but the heal plus the damage resistance is going to pay dividends for them in the long term, now that they're not really having to rotate as much since they are just holding last. Thomas is up on the spy right now and is actually in lobby, so they are going to try and use the spy play here, as he is making his way in through Launchpad. Yeah, those resistances will be helping out fairly soon, and that means there's actually, not only is there the round clock for MONGI, there's also the banner clock, and once the banners are up, there's going to be so many more options for Feint to either defend more robustly or just like maybe add some kind of aggressive push into lobby that will work out a lot more in their favour given the banners. But we do see Thomas creeping in here. He's going to actually get hit by a random sticky from Smear, but I don't think anyone knows. So that'll make it slightly harder for him when he does finally get in, if he does get in. But there is definitely a pyro on Koff, he's being pretty vigilant at the moment. Right, here's the play. I think they know that they have a spy. There you go, it goes down. In fact, I was going to say he can edge the point, but they are just committing loads of players. Opti going in, and there's also a soldier stuck, and Mathes goes down as well, but they have got full charge banners, and they do pop out the Conch in lobby, and Smeary is making his way out right now. Josh is just leading the charge of this one. He is an absolute bully. Torret has to use Uber, and they are starting to catch this point immediately, but they don't have to pop Uber, as they do have that healing potential coming out of the Conch right there. Onbrag getting low, but doesn't go down there, and they do now have the battalions to be using as well. So this could be, also have Uber as well, so they have so many advantages to work with. that I feel like that they could roll this one all the way forwards without using much, but Opti is hiding in drop down right now. Unfortunately, comes up at the wrong time and gets hit by 2 nice directs coming out from Polygon, and now we're going to take this mid.
Yeah, we do see the desperation they play pretty much from Opti trying to get the force onto Omrek, but nothing doing at all. Yak's going super deep onto Omrek, but he doesn't even get remotely close to him. Omrek playing super safe right now. Feint just know that all they need to do to win this map is just play slow and secure the advantages that they have. It was an absolute tragedy that Yak got dropped there by Turret, and Swee was unable to get the force because there's just so much. I mean, the banner is so strong, and Omrek, he's pretty good at milking, and when he doesn't take any damage from the shots, you know that he's going to do it, and actually they're probably going to be taking this last right now.
Yeah, Polygon is coming into last right now. He has in fact popped out the battalions, but it blocks a lot of damage coming out from a soldier and a scout right there, but it's going to be Ombrak and Smear fighting on the point right there. Smear finding the frag onto Turret is going to get him off the point, and that's going to be 3-1 Feint Gaming, and they've got 3 minutes left, so it's still doable for Monkey Mode, but with the pace of the game and the way things have gone, do you reckon they're going to be able to get more rounds?
More rounds, yes, but a win is it's going to be really, really difficult for them because Feint probably just going to be slowing it down here. But it's pretty much all about this mid. Will we see Josh making another huge play onto the enemy choke, or potentially might see the Feint soldiers playing a bit more passive, and that might actually cost them, as you know, they might have less of an impact as they might. But never mind, Josh has done the exact same thing. We'll take out Yak, and this is looking pretty good for Feint.
It is indeed. Ombrak is in a nice safe position as well with Smeary and the rest of his scouts, as they are going to clean up onto Opti, not really needing Smeary anymore, it would seem, as he was insanely low on that mid. Did get shot down by Tomas and Mathes right there, but they are going to cap out this midpoint. They don't. Ubers are nice and even as well. Yak is now respawned. Smeary's going to be coming back in a second. Polygon is deciding to hold nice and close to go for a force play, as they know they're going to have Yak first, so they're going to start pushing into mid immediately, Eames, as soon as they want. And Polygon going for that bomb into Turret is going to find the Uber force nice and early. Ombrak still has his Uber, and Polygon is actually surviving there as Ombrak goes to try and catch him, but unfortunately doesn't manage to do so. And Koff underneath the point right now is finding the kill onto Yak. Yak goes down, and that is going to mean that Opti has to try and do all of the work for his team right now. Mathers and Opti with a nice combined bomb to try and get in there, and Ombrak getting insanely low, as they do have players going in onto Ombrak, and they do manage to take him down as Opti finds the rockets. Ixie finding Opti in return, and that is going to be a nice advantage coming out from Monkey Mode, as they do have 2 minutes 10 left on the clock.
That was an absolutely huge fight from Tomas there, just making sure that Ombrak got super weak and Opti can then finally clean up the damage. We do see Feint trying to come in without any heals here, trying to get any sort of play on the turret that they can possibly do. But Josh will farm some health back off the black box, and he's going to go up drop down here, but it's not really much. Yeah, he will get taken down pretty swiftly by Yak. So I mean, back on that mid there, they cost 2 soldiers for the force. It was just kind of a 5v4 for Monkey Mode, and they kind of just went super aggressive onto them, managed to get Ombrak, which is really nicely played by them. And this is, they have to convert this last push, and they're opting for the shutter push this time, not through main. So it's an interesting deviation on their last push strategy from Yak.
Indeed, and they have actually opted to put Smeary in water right now. Thomas is in onto him, just land 2 nice meat shots, and they can now play the point. The point is now open for capture, and there are stickies all over it. They're going to actually get that one. There's a minute 20 left on the clock, so is this doable for Monkey Mode with a really nice large push like that?
It is definitely doable. You're going to want to see Yak not dying instantly at mid to the bomb from Josh, and just some super aggression. They have to go Ombrak pretty much this mid, or it's going to be, and keep Turret alive, or it's pretty much over. But it's definitely doable for them if they have a nice mid here.
Indeed, and we are just seeing dual Ubers coming out from each team. Maybe we would have seen some crits Krieg at this point, but we are not indeed. Josh going in nice and early. He's actually getting cleaned up by these scouts this time. Polygon is in deep as well, but is getting countered in fact. And Ombrak is really low right now. In fact, gets pushed all the way back, but unfortunately casualties everywhere coming out for the side of Monkey Mode. They're not going to be able to do it. There is 40 seconds left on the clock, and full Uber advantage for the side of Feint Gaming. And GG's are now in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be a 3-2 for Feint Gaming.
It may even be a 5-3 at this point. Sorry, a 4-2. But yeah, there was a pretty nice mid from Smear actually. There's a potential for Yak to come over and just get some nice damage, because Opti done super amount of damage onto Ombrak and the scout, but he got completely cleaned up pretty much by Smear when he tried to push over, so there's nice to play by him. They will come in top right here. There's 10 seconds left. It's not looking likely, but Koff is coming in super aggressively actually. He's going to get the frag onto the medic if he hits any shots. But they are valiantly defending their point with a heavy, and it will end up being only a 3-2.
Yeah, it's fine. Just getting some after round frags, leveling up those strangers is what that was. But it is 3-2 indeed, and that's going to be Feint Gaming picking up their first 3 points in this official. And well played from both sides. Like you said, it was going to be back and forth and insanely close. So your prediction was pretty close for that one. Mine was way out there. and completely wrong, as per usual. But nearly close there with Josh dying on the first mid as well. What do you think overall of that game, Eames? What do you think were the key issues coming out from the side of MONGI mid that caused them to lose that one?
I think they failed at least 2 last pushes, didn't they? Although I didn't think Feint did as well, so both teams were not executing perfectly. I think a lot of their focus fire was bad, or I don't think going main is very effective. But both teams struggled to either not lose people early or not kill the pyro, which is kind of the classic things about Galewash last. I know it was a very close game.
Indeed, it was indeed. But we have got some logs that are provided to us by the lovely one and only wiethoofd for this game. Anything really standing out to you in the logs, Eames?
I think a very solid game from Smear there. In control, getting a positive KD, getting the most damage, just kind of leading his team. Didn't even take top heals at all, but he was not too often out of his comfort zone. He might have been caught out a few times, but was able to kind of control the game quite effectively. That's what you see out of that log. So that's nicely played by him. Whereas Yak, I feel like he was dying quite often, even though, dying in weird situations, which meant that he couldn't do all that he wanted to. Whereas Smear might have died he actually died more than Yak, but he was dying when it would help his team, basically.
Indeed. We do also have, of course, the top frag of Koff. Which is nice to see with 29 kills. Obviously clearing up on all of Smear's big dams during that game, so well played from him coming out for top frags for that one. Speaking of the other end of the spectrum, we do have Josh coming out low there, but he did a lot of work, Josh, in my opinion. He forced that Uber in drop down that one time, which meant that they could retake onto mid just based off the force alone, which was very nice from him, and he did a lot of nice bombs onto Yak early on the mids, like we saw twice in a row, which was unfortunate from them. So I'm going to give actually MVP to Josh for that game. Don't know about you.
Definitely most undervalued player according to the logs. I think to begin with, they had a lot of these kind of hedging mids where they go under, or they would do a fake bomb or something, but as the game progressed, it seemed Josh just suddenly realised that if he just goes straight into the enemy team, even if he dies, he was just making a lot of space for Feint, and they were really capitalising on it, particularly a lot with when he killed Yak, Smear was just so free to walk over point, and at that point, if he's not being bombed or anything, then it basically Smear just wins the mid at that point, because he's just got so many targets to shoot at, and it's absolutely free for him to do so.
Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy for them, of course, but they are going to be moving forwards now with that 3 points that they can have, but they could have 6 points if they win on CP Logjam, which is coming into the season replacing ProLance, as we said earlier. And it's going to be interesting watching this map. This is sort of a big old figuring out the meta kind of thing, what works best, and teams are going to be trying some interesting stuff coming out of this one. We're going to see some interesting last holds, some interesting last pushes. Mids, of course, are going to be a fun one, and I think the big standout thing for me on this map is the way you can transition from mid into second, because you've got a lot of options coming out with this map. Yeah, you do, definitely. They're very quite different options, The choke is very, very open, but it's super easy to actually get spam on it as you come through, and there's a really nice spot that's pretty much made for bombing round blind into the choke, but if you get the timing on it correctly from that platform, you can get a really crazy bomb onto them as they come through there. And the other two areas, I know you can actually get very deep in if they're not watched without being seen, which can mean you can probably catch people off pretty effectively with the Ubers. I know that going through log room, particularly if you're actually going second to mid, then you can get really quite far in on the right side, and suddenly you can see the whole point and can just use straight into them potentially. But yeah, I think the mid's going to be really interesting to see, because it's very open, and it's kind of whichever team is able to take over the point first and get aggressive with the enemy team, it's going to do a lot better. Yeah, of course. As well, I didn't really talk about this before as well, but snipers on this map do have pretty good sight ranges between middle and second, so I wonder if we're going to see any sniper gameplay coming out here from Sui or Koff, as they have been sniping a lot during these games, so potential for some nice clean headshots and frag moving material if any of you creators in the chat if you're watching this. But I'd like to also say thank you to Feint Gaming for sponsoring this season for the Premiership Division in ETF2L. Thank you so much for your donations and all that lovely jubbly stuff, and thanks to the TF2 community as well for donating a little extra money to put it on the board to help out the players as well as the community. Thank you so much everyone for this one. Also, for those who have only just joined us as well, it's Wiethoofd's birthday, so give him some birthday in the chat please, boys. Thanks.
Happy birthday, Wiethoofd. Yeah, so you mentioned sniper. I think I think I saw Koff go sniper to mid maybe once or twice in his scrims yesterday, of which I watched. And definitely defending mid, if the enemy team tries to push choke and you have a sniper on it, it's just such a fantastic angle. You can stand pretty much anywhere and look at all of the choke. It's really open. But then again, if they do know that there's a sniper, you can just opt to go log or maybe even cave, and there are certain angles there that you really just can't see on sniper. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that respect. What do you think they'll be running sniper, Lucky?
I think they could be running sniper. A sniper to mid would be interesting, but the rollout on Logjam is such a long one. Running a sniper all the way to mid, he's going to get there really late. There are some really interesting demo rollouts you can do with like 2 stickies from the lobby area, which gets you onto mid super fast. So demos will arrive early. Snipers will arrive too late maybe. The soldier bomb's coming in nice and early as well, since soldiers have a nice time getting there. So I don't think we'll see many snipers to mid because it takes so long to get to the mid, but in between I think we'll see quite a lot of sniper. And potentially some spy plays coming out as well, because there are a lot of hiding places, lots of ammo packs to pick up if they're on the stock Eemes watch and all that kind of stuff. But we are in fact going live.
One more thing to notice about this mid in particular is because the demos arrive so early and because it's so open, the opening demo fight is really, really important, and there's really nowhere to hide if you're getting stickied by the enemy demo. And if they can just get a couple early 6 onto you and then you push aggressively over a point, they could have a much, much worse position for later in the mid. We do see the demos taking their fight right now.
Yeah, it was a very even coming there from both demos, and basically arriving at the same time. Yak is stickying off most of the red team right there, but he does indeed stick nice and early. We are seeing the dual soldier bomb coming out from Polygon and Josh, and they don't manage to find too much, but do find a lot of damage. Ombrak and Torret are nice and safe right there, but both soldiers and both soldiers for the side of Feint Gaming do in fact go down. It's just going to be Koff and Ombrak trying to escape this one. A nice shot in the chat from Ixie as well, meaning that MONGI mode are going to take this first mid.
Yeah, pretty scrappy mid there. We saw a really nice bomb from Poly onto Yak there, getting a nice 3 rocket onto him. But just not so much positioning for Feint as they kind of crept forward a little bit onto point, but Ixie losing that 1v1 there, I guess, to Matt, I think. Basically meant they just lost it out in the end. But a pretty even mid, to be honest. 1v1 turning it towards the side of MONGI mode there.
Indeed. So Ubers are even currently even players on both sides, and it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to hold this. They are actually sending 3 players to the flank right now. Opti is just sort of peeking right there. He's jumping up in caves right now to see if he can spot anyone. He just found a hiding spot, actually. That's an interesting one. I like that. But it looks as if they are just trying to bait people in right now with the 2 scouts. No one's opting to hold in the log room. Just sort of hiding there in the caves, trying to get some spam out, holding in choke. No real sack plays coming out right now. They are just trying to bait players in to cave right now, but Josh is having none of it.
It's a cool spot here from Opti, but he is only 135 HP, so if he does get pushed, it's going to be quite difficult for him to actually take the 1v1 or make the play that he wants to make. If Torek could come in and arrow him, that would probably help him out, but I don't know if he's going to. As we do see, Swee's doing his darndest to try and get anyone to try and take the bait into cave, but no one is doing it. But really, if Polly jumps in here with 300 HP, he could kill both players if he hits nice rockets, because there's so little health between them.
Oh, there we go.
A strange play.
Okay, Matthias decides he's going to bomb in and around and land in caves and try and bait them in further, but I think Feint Gaming have caught on. They understand that there's something afoot. And Ixie's currently checking Facebook. He's just sort of stood still, spamming his winger occasionally, not really doing too much, just sort of chilling out. No one's really trying to do anything right now, but I'm sure we'll see a sack play come out from Mathers relatively soon, because big Mathers bombs, man. And we do actually see that as he is now flying in to try and get some damage. Lands on top of Josh's head and takes him down. That's a one-man player advantage, but he does indeed trade. So nothing really going to be coming out there, but they are actually pressuring really deep into choke right now. Not really finding too much. Josh throwing out a well played in the chat. Everyone's checking Facebook again.
Here we go. You see another sack in from Opti here, and MONGI trying to get quite aggressive to pressure off those sacks. And it's kind of questionable here from Opti because Josh does actually have the better spawn. So it's 6v4 Feint for a little while, and Polly's going to go really deep onto Torret. He's going to get 1 rocket, and it's going to get a huge 4. So it's a really nice skip jump through choke there. Must have practiced that once or twice from Polly, but Jack is going to... Okay. Yak tries to go for the force. Jack, Joseph, Yak. One of those.
You beefed it.
He had it for the force, but he didn't get it.
Unfortunately, coming up from him, Yak is in fact now dead to Koss, Scattergun, and Smear actually finding a kill as well onto Swoon means they are going to have a 2-man advantage. And that is, along with the full advantage on Uber, means they're going to start coming in through the log room and start making their way towards that point really aggressively. Looks like Opti is in fact caught in, doesn't go down to the Scat. Going to Koff, who's on a 5k right now. And they are going to manage to start capping up the second point and start rolling towards last. So it's going to be interesting to see where they take it, Eames.
Yeah, potentially a bit of tilt there from Yak now. The ease with which Torre got forced and just going in trying to get the sack onto Ombrak, but failing to do it. And the Uber is popped in Ombrak here. They're going to go super aggressive from the point, and actually Koff is almost going to cap it, but it's 96% from Torre. He's going to get the Uber now, but he's going to need to not drop 0 players, or otherwise they're going to absolutely get destroyed here. But actually Fane are going to have to leave, but Josh is behind. They need to watch out for him. He's going to try and go for point, maybe. He's waddling in.
Nice rotation from him. He does manage to take that Torre. Caps the point as well. He timed that so perfectly. He heard the jump and understood that they were going towards him. Finally, just walked around the point. They couldn't spot him. And he just came around the corner and then capped that one out for his team and killed Turret. So even then, he had collateral just in case he failed. But well played from Feint Gaming there.
I mean, we saw in mid, it was unfortunate that Torre got forced, but it needn't have been, you know, snowballed all the way into a round for Feint. But it was just, Yak was unwilling to, you know, just take the hit and concede the point and set up a hold on second. So, you know, trying to make something of it, and it just completely cost them the whole round in the end. As the both solis do go pretty deep from Feint Gaming here.
They go directly in onto Torres, try and get some to happen, but don't manage to find anything as Polygon goes down first. Is the first victim of this one. AC going in really deep onto Opti right there. Does manage to take him down. Sweet going down as well. There's 2 players down for the side of MONGI mode, so they could try and re-push, but Josh in fact does go down, but Yak going down is a really big pick for the side of Feint Gaming. They're just baiting all of these players into choke to try and get Ombrak right now. Ombrak with a huge Uber advantage, but probably doesn't know it since he was just building slightly better on that mid right there, and they are going to manage to start to cap this one out. 2 players down for the side of MONGI mode. Probably will spell the second push coming out from the side of Feint.
Yeah, particularly with that Demo Man down. I mean, it was a really messy mid, both teams actually. I mean, the solis from Feint didn't really get anything going there, but Yak somehow was caught in the enemy cave completely alone and did just die for it. So, and even though the bomb from the Feint soldiers didn't really do too much, one of them at least was able to live, and you know, they played a lot more as a unit after that fight, whereas Yak was just completely isolated from this whole team, so they weren't able to do anything. As Torre will drop here, oh my goodness, it's a huge bomb from Josh, and I feel like, I hate to say it, I hate to pre-predict it, but I think MONGI mode are getting a little bit upset. Yak's, you know, it's kind of a little bit of the tilt main calling at this point. It's possible.
Thinking emoji right now for that one, as Yak and Co just decide to walk in to try and get all that force play off, but Ombrak was really, really safe, back in choke, just waiting for them to all commit in, as just based off that drop alone, he was really far back and was like, I'm not getting forced, you're not doing this to me, I'm not Torret. And looks as if they are going to have a last push coming on their hands right now. They are making their way through left right now really aggressively, as the heavy is on the right hand side, so they've got to travel all the way across to try and get on top of him. Kunu just waiting for an Uber right now, doesn't actually get given an Uber by Ombrak, and Ombrak is left all alone on the right hand side to fend for himself, but Smiria is now committing for the point, doesn't find anything. Polygon gets air shot and thrown into the ground, does go down. Josh is in super low right now. Ixie just goes straight for the point, but does get cleaned up by Opti, so a nice last time coming out there from MONGI mode, but Torret did in fact go down, so Ombrak has actually managed to make his way out, and is probably going to have Uber advantage for this one.
It was kind of another questionable death there from Torret, because he had, I mean, they'd basically won the fight at that point, and he just walked blithely out of spawn and got T-rocketed by Josh pretty much as he left. So if he'd just been a tiny little bit more cautious, they could have lived, and they would have a Uber advantage for this second. But as it is, it's going to be pretty much a free retake for Feint, as pretty much there's a huge heal advantage for them, and they got the position as well. So MONGI mode just going to have to turn tails and back all the way up to last, and this is going to be, you know, annoying once again for Yak, who may, I know, he may be feeling the effect of Torret having a few questionable plays in a row.
Yeah, probably indeed. Knowing Yak, toxic Brit scale dictates that he is now full toxicity mode. He is just an overflowing barrel of radiation. Feint Gaming are in fact coming in through the right hand side right now with the Uber charge popped out onto them nice and early. They do receive loads of spam to block with the Uber, however, and Sweet is on full HP getting aired up by Torret. Is managing to stay alive. Josh coming for that point, does in fact go down. Koff going down as well, but Opti is now in Minecraft mode onto Smear, does take him down. Polygon finding that revenge kill, but Torret actually popped out as Uber for some reason on 150 health. Probably just to save the outcome. I didn't even spot that one, but they have managed to retake second.
he was 150 health, and he popped his Uber on a heavy who was 350 health. So once again, it's a questionable one. I think, you know, it's kind of the medic syndrome where you make one mistake and then you play so conservatively because you don't want to make any more mistakes that you end up, you know, being way too conservative. And you just got to stick with your game plan. Know that sometimes things goes wrong, sometimes things will go right, but don't completely change your playstyle just because you had one unfortunate play. Yeah,
they could have walked into second there and had full Uber advantage to take it onto mid, but popping that Uber means they are going to just be having a stalemate. They can't really afford to have, as they are one round down on the board, and Feint Gaming can just opt to play full potato mode and just sit there and bask in the sunshine. But Thomas is trying to see if he can make something happen on the flank, but they are opting to, in fact, keep Smiria and Ombrak on this ramp room area rather than at choke, feeling that they don't really need it. They can just leave Ixie at choke on his own to just watch that one. Doesn't really need any help apparently, and they're just sort of all hanging around having a dance party on the point. Not really much happening right now.
Yeah, actually, we do see Yak and his boys going super aggressive into this locker room. They're going to get a nice frag, but Thomas is probably going to go down, and actually Tori's going to force onto him, and it was really, really late for Ombrak, although actually Opti will come in and get the force, and they're going to be just about to leave, but Smear's going to catch in. Oh, huge sticky from Smear onto Tori, and he will go down. This is disaster, but actually Thomas is going to trade onto Ombrak, so it's really nicely played by him.
Yeah, very unfortunate right there. Tora and Ombrak going down though, however. But Smeary getting taken out by the pipes of Yak, so Yak is just spamming right now into the ramp room area, and looks as if they are going to try and take this DM fight, but are deciding to opt out of that one. Yak, in fact, getting caught by Koff in the log room and does go down, so there's probably going to be a push coming out from the side of MONGI mode.
I feel like Yak is getting really antsy at the moment. You know, he sees they're one down and that they're not playing too well and getting kind of ahead of himself. He didn't really need to play so aggressively with that Uber trade in the first place, and once again, I mean, it ended up being pretty much even at the end there, but him going down to Koff just super aggressive in the log room is going to really cost them, although they have decided they could have used that advantage to actually get in, but they decided not to.
Yeah, they're just sort of chilling out with this one. They don't really want to push too hard. They are really just sort of holding back, being conservative. Tora probably afraid to make any more stupid plays. Sorry, I just coughed.
You say that, but they are going quite aggressive on this 10% advantage. Mathis is actually going to get through, and they've actually taken a lot of space here, but Opti will go down on the flank. This could actually mean a back cap with actually Ixie and Josh behind. The Ubers are trading in the middle, but they're going to be getting the cap already. And Yak's trying to head out through choke here, but Josh is going to be trying to cut him off, and he will actually get the frag. Oh, he's going to get a lot of damage onto Yak, and Ixie's almost got the back cap here.
Yeah, nearly getting the back cap right there is going to force them to sort of play a lot more conservative. They're going to have to sort of maybe a little bit more passive, count players in front of them, and if they know something is afoot, then something's going to go wrong. Math is in fact getting taken down, and Yak is in really deep, but Tora is in a very questionable position with both of the scouts right now, so not really getting too much done. But Polygon with two nice direct rockets onto Sweet does take him down. Smeary getting him really deep off the point right now, is just spamming out Yak to try and get him to leave, and Smeary just doing so much work for this team. He just forces them all out.
Yeah, you got the pick at the start of the fight, and just getting really nice damage on them consistently, and just not allowing them to stay in those positions. But it was two huge rockets from Polygon to take out Sui there, and this is going to be pretty much a free push for MONGI for Feint in here, as there's just no position. And actually, Yak will go down to a huge double bomb from the soldiers on Feint, just getting completely caught out. Once again, he's just getting kind of ahead of himself.
Yeah, and Ombrak actually has 10% Uber advantage to work with right now, so they are going to start making their way in, it would seem, as they are getting loads of aggressive spam. Maybe not coming in too deep, trying to just bait players forward, but they have got two players onto the point, as Ixie and Ixie and Co decide that they're going to bomb directly onto the point and get that Uber force going out from Torek, because he used that Uber to save the point. But Ombrak now with a full Uber advantage is going to make his way back into choke, and that could cause them to maybe overextend on the mid, maybe, like they did last time, and they could just bait them in.
They are going aggressive with this Uber ad through Logram here. They're going to be hiding, actually, waiting for Toro to come close. MONGI don't actually know anything about it. They haven't seen the combo at all. They're completely unaware. They got 1 second. They're just going to cap this out, and it's going to be so difficult for them to block with the Uber here. It's absolute chaos.
Yeah, they've just used Uber into them right now. Torek goes down because he was so deep in, and they've just wrapped them completely. What a play coming out from Feint Gaming. Very well coordinated from their team to make that one come out. And Koff is actually taking a 1v1 right now on the point with Polygon, and with Mathis, and takes him down. And Yak going down as well, getting caught. Opti insanely weak in main, isn't going to find anything here probably, as Ixie just hits him with one scattergun shot and he dies. And that's going to be Ixie and Koff capping out that point to make it 2-0.
And that's just some really smart and clinical plays by Feint Gaming there. It was a nice force one last. It was unfortunately lost Smear in the right side there, But you know, 3 players for the force. If you get so much out of your Uber, is fine. And you know, they just that hiding play in log room was really smart, and Yak was just completely unaware. So yeah, Feint just clinical and smart here.
Yeah, they are just they're playing really well on Logjam. They've come out with some interesting plays for sure. But we are seeing the Demo Man to and fro right now on the mid fight, and it looks like we're going to see an early bomb coming out from the side of Josh, and he is in fact going to go down nice and early. But Ixie finally killed onto Sui as well. But Red Team are so far across this point due to Polygon's bomb, as he does find Tora, but Tomas managing to clean him up in the air as well. But Yak is starting to walk forwards now into Koff to see if he can get anything done underneath the point, and it is baiting all of the players back. Ombrak is playing really passively right now, just deciding to save his own life. And Smiria and Koff in fact retreating, but they are finding exit frags on the way out of that one. But blue team now stuck together in log room, and they're trying to make something happen. But Koff and Smiria with a nice deny. Yak comes in as well, and Smiria with a nice pipe to clean him up. Means that Fake Gaming are going to win this one.
Yeah, and Smear and Koff together just playing really nicely here. Just him together with Ombrak, they're just being the blob, the bulk, the center of their team. And you know, they get some damage, they get some frags, but most importantly, they just hold that area. And it's so difficult for anyone on MONGI mode to get a frag either onto Smear or Ombrak. And you know, as opposed to Torret, who went down pretty early on that mid. And although it was a 4v4, 4 fragging classes versus only 3 for Feint, they played the position so effectively that there was really nothing that they could do on MONGI mode, as they do take this Uber aggressively through Shutter into last year.
My dream has come true and the wet through main. It's insane. Polygon is straight on Torret, decides to take him down immediately. The first casualty of war is Speed going down as well. Ombrak even finding a frag onto Opti, and it's just a complete clean up here coming out from the side of Fake Gaming, but they are actually managing to trade frags. Ombrak is alone on the point, and it's Tomas and Ixie taking the 1v1 with each other, but unfortunately that is going to be an L coming out from Tomas, and does in fact go down. That's 3-0 now for Fake Gaming, and it's looking bleak for the side of MONGI mode.
It is indeed. It's the coherent play from Feint is really favouring them on this map. And I mean, the last push we saw Torret go down instantly to Polygon, which is something you never ever want to see. Should have just been safe in the spawn. But I think that Uber from Shutter just really caught them unawares. They were expecting it to be a slow walk through right side that they could juggle, but they just came immediately through the Shutter and just annihilated them.
Yeah, taking it really aggressive right there. Yak is actually opting to play on the far right side away from the heals right now, and is taking loads of damage in fact. But they are rotating all the way over, and Mathis and Opti with 2 nice bombs trying to get as much room as possible. Sweet taking loads of damage to Smeary there. It's so much work for a team. Mathis finding 2 nice rockets onto Ombrak, but doesn't find the kill in fact. But Smeary taking tons of damage himself as Mathis is in onto him. And they are actually running the sniper that we talked about, as Koff is now finding the body shot as he's finally made his way to mid. And manages to kill Mathis. Polygon finding Yak as well. But that sniper, like I said, taking years to take effect.
It's true, but I mean, it's great to see Koff playing basically the same on Sniper as he did on Scout, just like, you know, a little bit further back. But he's basically doing the exact same thing where he just stays around Ombrak all mid, and no one can really get to them because they're just so safe, and he will eventually get a nice frag, but kind of irrelevant because they hit 1 mid at that point, because Torret, he's never safe on these mids, but Ombrak, he's just absolutely happy and fine in his choke.
Yeah, it looks as if Torret and Co are just going to be holding far back here on second, and we are seeing Polygon coming nice and early just to get a feel for what's going on in this one. Tomas is committing in onto him, however, to try and get a frag, but does get cleaned up for its overextension. Smiro finding Torret immediately. Mathis also going down to Smiro. It's just well played from the Demo Man right now as they are all the way in. Ombrak still hasn't used Uber, and they have managed to kill 5 players, and Smiri went down to 5 HP right there. It's a disaster for the side of MONGI mode as they have found nothing. Ombrak has found everything this game. It's been given all the room he needs. They are going to try and Uber through, but Josh gets killed immediately. No Uber getting popped right now as Ombrak just has to milk it. He hasn't opted to use this one, and they are just going to back out, probably wait for their spawners, and then try and make a repush.
Yeah, they will. It was, I mean, it's crazy to see the medic going down on that Uber advantage push without Uber even being popped. That was how drastically MONGI mode misplayed it, although they did, you know, someone managed to put up the defense side last there, particularly with that sticky trap from Yak. But it's a huge advantage here pretty much from Ombrak, and he's probably going to be taking it right side, but it is a disadvantage for them to have Sniper on this push, although Koff may be able to hit some heads to nullify that. But
they have actually used Uber coming to last, and Koff has actually hit the first head onto Sweet. Torret getting low once again out of this Uber, but Tomas taking the 1-1 with Ombrak. Ombrak wins it, and manages to connect with Ixie, and they're going to make their way out as the Uber was thwarted. As Torret actually did survive that time, so they are going to push out now, and Opti is now all the way onto second already. And it's going to be a hard comeback for the side of MONGI mode if they decide to, and Yak has bombed into choke, interestingly.
Yeah, I really want to see Yak go super aggressive with this Uber, trying to actually couch Umbrak so they can keep rolling this round, because I feel like they need to use their momentum here to try and get in. But Yak has gone really aggressive through choke, but so much before turret that it's going to get completely taken down when his team is just completely unable to support. So it's kind of a rough push here from MONGI mode.
Tar getting forced as well there by the dual soldier bomb coming out from Polygon and Josh, and they both go down, and it's looking even more bleak. Ombrak has 75% to play with. Koff is up on the sniper. Ixie and Smire are standing around him to defend him. So this pushing is going to be relatively difficult coming out from the side of MONGI mode, but they are going to try and make it happen as Mathis is coming all the way in as Thomas gets body shot and then cleaned up by Ombrak as well. With the assistance of Ixie's scattergun, but they do actually pop out the Uber, and there is a nice headshot coming onto Mathis right there as well to kill him. And there's a sticky trap and choke to try and make something happen, but I doubt anything's really going to take effect on this one.
You can understand the thought process here from MONGI mode. There's only 11 minutes left. They need 3 rounds. They're trying to go super aggressive to make as much off of these advantages that they possibly can. But because of that, they're just going not quite perfectly timed. And actually, oh yeah, it's a huge pick from Smiri onto Thomas. They're going so aggressive that they're just actually bleeding players before they can use any of these advantages. And just as I say that, he's 1 to sticky traps, 1 to sniper, and Torre is only at 83%, so they can't even use the Uber because he's going to go down, probably.
He survives. I thought he was going to get domed there because Koff actually had a shot from choke onto him, but didn't actually manage to land ahead. But Smire is walking through choke right now, trying to just deny with some air pipes, but isn't managing to connect with anything. But in fact, does actually connect into Opti as he takes 4 damage and then a pipe and dies. Ombrak is now starting to get his Uber, but Torret and Co are now just waiting at choke, waiting for Yak to get here before they start trying to make anything happen in terms of sack plays. But it's probably going to be another stalemate taking place.
Yeah, indeed, and this is really not what Yak wants at this point. I mean, twice in the last 2 minutes they've had an Uber advantage going into mid. Yak has died before they've actually Ubered, so it's quite tragic here. You can see how much. Oh my god, Put is going for a huge sack in, some kind of like sink jump bomb from choke. I think he's theory crafted that one once upon a time, as they are actually wandering quite aggressively through choke here. Koff hasn't actually got the angle onto them that he should have had, because Sweet is behind, and the Ubers will be forced really quite early from Yak's team. Yak's gonna have to get out, but it's pretty much just a trade here.
They have been wrapped, in fact, by Thomas and Sweet. Tara is actually caught right now and does in fact go down to the pipes of Smiri, getting caught in cave right there. It does go down. Ombrak is getting flattened by 3 players, so you can't blame him for dying on that one. As he does in fact go down, but loads of red flashing blinking bars coming out from the side of the blue team. But Josh manages to find one clean-up kill. Can he find another potentially? Onto Thomas. Thomas is by... Oh no, he gets cleaned up. Unfortunate.
Yeah, we saw... I mean, if you had a pocket scout there chasing behind for the scout behind, that might have been alright, because he might have actually killed him. But instead of watching the choke there, Koff was trying to deal with the scout who was behind, and that meant that they got in so free through the choke. And then Koff couldn't really do anything because they were in. There was also a scout behind, so the scrappy fight really not favouring the sniper, and Koff not being able to make anything happen from that. And this does mean they're on their last, but Ubers are completely even. So it's better for MONGI mode, but they still need to make a lot happen if they want to get back into this game.
Indeedy. Tora and Such are moving all the way into lobby. Ixie is now up on the engineer class. They are building a sentry gun, but was getting pistol whipped, so he just picks it up and is saying nope. So that scout is pistol whipping it, so they've spotted the sentry gun, they know it's there. I wonder what their method's going to be coming to last. If they do just decide to run all the way in, with Yak diving really deep on that one, but they're not actually finding anything as they get a bit of cap time there, a bit of point pressure, and Sweet manages to find the kill, and Mathis finding the pickaxe kill onto Ombrak. Actually didn't notice that one, the Smira going down as well, but they are actually starting to do this one, but unfortunately for them, respawning soldiers means a big old note from Faint Gaming saying you can't win that easily.
We can see MONGI mode. I mean, they have a plan, but it's not really much of one, which is basically just go in and DM and see what happens here. But they did actually manage to get Ombrak with the polygon. We'll go for a deep bomb onto Torre. Actually, he's going to have to leave here because he has got the ban and taking too much damage for his rocket jumps. And actually, this did somehow work because they did get Ombrak, so it's a pretty sizable advantage for Torre here. They're going to need to use this Uber effectively, though. The second is actually really nearly capped, so they could be danger of a back cap here.
Yeah, Yak is moving in really aggressively once again and does have the Uber used on him by Tora to save his life as they are making their way all the way into last. And Tomas is starting to play the point really early, but does get deaded on by some traps which are hidden inside of the point. Ixie now up on the poot as well, so he's trying to defend that one. But it looks like more Captain's going to come out, and they are actually going to get a round on the board coming out from the side of MONGI mode. A little bit unexpected coming out there, considering Toxic Grit Scale is now off the chart.
Well, it might be, coming back down into normal readings here. As we do see, I mean, on this mid, it's going to be really crucial. They need to keep Turret alive if they want to get stuff out of this round quickly, because that's what they need to do. Turret has died, I think, maybe the past 3 or 4 mids straight in a row. Pretty much an early bomb from, I think, Polly or Josh or both. And they just need to make sure that doesn't happen, and they can probably just roll over them over point if they do that correctly.
Yeah, Yak has found some nice early damage onto Smirry and doesn't actually have to receive an arrow there, but we do see Josh going in really early onto Torah, and a dual bomb coming out. Torah finds the health pack, but does in fact get cleaned up by Polygon right there. Math is now finding both of those soldiers, and it looks like Coffins are going to go as well, and manages to find Opti off the back of his bomb. Mathes and Tomas playing really passive in their shit right now, do in fact find Ombrak and find all of the kills there, but Koff and Smirry cleaning up on the damage, doing really well there for Feint Gaming.
I mean, so trading 2 soldiers for the med is... well, on most maps it wouldn't be too great, but on this map it actually works fairly well because the scouts just play super passive and choke, but that time it did actually work kind of to the advantage of MONGI as they were able to kill Umbrak finally, but it was too much position for the scouts on Feint, and they weren't able to clean them up there after that mid.
Unfortunate. Maths and Yak have only just respawned, and Koff and Smirry are making their way into each other right now. Sweet getting insanely low already, and they are already taking this fight here. Smirry has a lone point, but Koff finds the kill onto Sweet. He did try and go in behind there. It's just waiting for an arrow from Ombrak, does receive it. Unfortunately for the side of Feint, Polygon and Smirry going down, but Smirry finally kills Torret before he goes down. So that's going to be an absolute disaster. Opti going down as well. That's going to be a wipe coming out from the side of MONGI mode. Maybe more disastrous than we thought.
Yeah, this is probably even a GG here if Sweet can make some kind of crazy defense and get onto point now, and it's only Tomas up. It's a really nice rocket from Josh, actually. 2 huge rockets onto win that round with style, and I mean, I said it last mid, and it happened exactly as I said. Both Polygon and Josh went really deep on the turret. He didn't even get the pack, survived
yeah, he got
2 or 3 rockets from Polygon,
yeah.
And then Josh just comes in and says, nope, you're not living. And the heals on the scouts in his very, very open map is just far too much for the rest of MONGI to deal with.
Yeah, indeed. We are going to see the demo dance once again on the mid-fight right now. Polygon is getting in a position for a bomb. Does in fact go for the high bomb with the assistance of Josh. Straight onto Torrent once again to try and get him to die. And they do kill him again. Polygon finding the rockets. But unfortunately, the rest of the team is getting insanely damaged. Ombrak is all the way out. Mathis is on the chase to try and find that pesky French medic. But Polygon is surviving on the mid right now with the assistance of Ixie, and they are going on to Sweet with their combined focus. But they are having to swap between different players. The soldiers taking a 1v1, the scouts are taking a 1v1. But Sweet wins the 1v1, and Polygon is now in and trying to find the kill onto Mathis and isn't finding anything. And unfortunately for them, they do go down. And that's going to be a win on the mid there from MONGI mode. But we'll see what happens from here.
What happens is Yak tries to go forward and make a play and just completely feeds. He gets about 50 damage onto Ombrak, but absolutely nothing happening for him there. So he's trying to yank his team back into this game on the scruffs of their necks, but it's completely impossible. And Ombrak has actually got a huge Uber advantage here. Maybe even got a sort of Yak, I'm not sure. They're just going to take this in for free, and all of the... I mean, MONGI are trying to go for a wraparound play here, but it's not looking likely because they're just getting Ubered on.
Yeah, trying
to... pretty difficult for them.
Yeah, Opti in fact getting airshot there coming in. You can't steal Feint Gaming's strat that they used on you in the middle of the same game. They're just not going to let it happen. And Yak and Tora are now making their way back out through logs, and Tora actually getting killed immediately, and Yak getting cleaned up as well by Smirry. Unfortunately, both of them going down. So it looks as if they're going to cap this mid, and they'll be able to roll it into second now as well, even though they just got a bunch of forward spawners. They have actually decided opting for the Tomas poop. Interesting.
So definitely at this point, you know, MONGI have more or less given up. They're just going for crazy plays, doing whatever occurs to them. Thomas hiding on heavy on point. Maybe he'll get fragged onto a scout or something.
They don't know.
It'll be interesting to see or to hear from them in the interviews. Really, how long ago it was that they descended into tilt? Because it was even possible that it happened after the first, like 5 minutes when Turret died multiple times. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Opti, in fact, going down there trying to find something, but Koff is just there with the complete deny plays. Like you said, Eames, these scouts are really playing around on Ombrak super hard, and Smirry is now joining the fight as well to make it even more disastrous. Sweet is trying to start from the forward spawn, but not finding anything. It's deciding to sit in there, however. Does find, nearly find a head, but unfortunately just get taken out by 2 nice rockets, and Tomas and Tora are just trying out if they can try and spot out where the team is, but it looks like Ombrak and Co are going to start moving into the left-hand side. Whereas potentially free for them to come in, as they are all holding on the right hand side. They do pop out that Uber, and Smeary is now raining damage onto the blue side. And it looks like Opti's going to go straight for the point, but doesn't manage to find it. Unfortunately, as Opti does bomb onto that, but loads of point pressure. Nice air shot from Mathis there onto Smeary, just taking down. Ixie going down, Opti going down, the entire team goes down, and that is it. That's 5-1. It's impossible for Yak's team to win this one, and that's going to be a GG.
It is indeed. I mean, we know it is obviously garbage time at this point, but once again we do see Turret getting caught on about 95%, not in the shutter door. So I know, I feel like it's just deja vu on this map. You know, they know that Turret is often going to be slightly out of position, and they're making absolute mincemeat out of it.
Oh. Smeary hits him with the taunt as well. That's absolutely disgusting. Let's see if Turret can get another death on the logs before this one. They've actually got a heavy run out from Josh. They're mimicking the strategies of Mongi mode, as we see the GG lag come in, and Koff is just sniping from choke right now, and Sweet is trying to make something happen, but does in fact go down there. Turret actually didn't die on that mid, so miracles can happen.
Turns out the only mid on which Turret doesn't die is one that he doesn't go to, so there you go. Maybe that was the plan. That should have been the plan all along.
Oh, maybe they shouldn't have turned onto mid indeed, but he might in fact go down now as Ixie's in onto him, but Yak says no to that one and doesn't want to let anything happen, but Polygon is understanding of this situation and does kill him as well. Torek goes down again, and he goes and gets Opti as well. Oh my god, that is incredible. Josh is now up on the poop, on second on the spire, chilling out, doing his thing, shooting in the air, being a poop.
I mean, it was just an absolute tragedy. You saw Torre had somewhat decent surf, but then he just goes straight into a pole, and it's like, oh. But he's like, alright, I will give you a direct there. I've got a pretty good DM, I'm going to hit that one. And he will kill Opti as well. So it's, the only question really remains, who had the greater DPM, Smear or Polygon? I think it's probably going to be Smear actually, but it's both going to be pretty high, I think.
I think the last pushes are going to stand out there for that one, on that damage stat. I think Smear, when he came into last that one time and landed a pipe and a sticky in the middle of the enemy team and just did so much damage, so I think Smear's going to come out with the most damage this game. And that's actually going to be a 6-1 in fact. That's a big old 5-0 victory rather than server time ending. But that's going to be an XD, boys, as something happened there that went horribly wrong.
Something happened indeed. The only question is, what point did it happen?
That is indeed the question. But that is going to be Faint Gaming coming out with 6 clean points off the back of that one. They are really sort of now holding up the fact that they are not done with, and they really, really want to make playoffs off the back of this one. So it's looking more and more positive for them off the back of this win. Coming out with 6 points is really big for them, do you think? Yeah,
definitely. It's, they were looking a little bit shaky there on Gullywash to begin with, but it's a really dominant showing on Logjam here. So nice to see them, you know, putting some questionable results, well, from yesterday and maybe even Gullywash in their minds behind them, and showing, you know, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Indeedy, indeedy. We have been provided by some lovely logs from the lovely wiethoofd himself, whose birthday it is, so say happy birthday if you haven't already. I'm now forcing it down your throats, ladies and gentlemen. So the logs are oh my god, Torek died 17 times to Ombrax 4, holy moly.
Oh no.
Oh no indeed. Smeary with 9.6k damage. I called it.
Yep, you did indeed. And we also see Koff with 2.8 KD, 28 for 10. It's fantastic from him. Well, I mean, he had a very easy job that game, to be honest. He was playing so many situations where he would just sit on the beam with turret dead and people would just feed into him. And particularly in a map like Logjam, that's a really, really effective way of playing it because it's just so open. On Gully, maybe, you know, it's easier for the soldiers to re-engage once, even if your medic's dead, you can, you know, go aggressive in these small areas and like crush people. But they take so much damage as they try to get onto the enemy medic that it's just really easy for Koff to just play the beam and clean people up.
Indeed. That was sort of just the name of the game. I don't think we can really deduce much other than it was a bit of a stomp coming out from Faint Gaming. Like, to begin with, it did sort of look a little bit even, but coming out the back of that one did seem pretty rough for them in the end. But we do, in fact, have a few people in the mumble joining us today. And how's it going, ladies and gents?
Who's the lady?
You.
Probably me. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it's meant you.
Yeah, it's pretty mint. So, how do you feel coming out of the back of that one, Yak? What do you think went wrong for the team in those games?
Well, we fucking blow a logjam, to be honest. Like, there's just no way that we were going to win logjam, I felt. Like, after the first mid, it just felt like they actually played them up, and we'd been... Let's just say we hadn't had great scrims on it. Like, people had been messing around because, haha, really bad new map. I mean, it's a really bad map, but, you know. And then Gully, I think that we all were quite happy with the result. It was really close. So I don't think anyone was upset about that.
Yeah, it was a really good game to watch, actually, on Gully Watch. It was really, really close, like you said. It was unfortunate, because I put my money on you guys winning, so you let me down, Yak, damn it. That's no offense to you, Koff and Ombrak, of course. I know you're excellent gamers. Ombrak, I'd like to say as well, your positioning coming out on Gully Watch and Logjam was absolutely perfect throughout the entirety of that. And how do you think you sort of adjusted to the playstyle of MONGI mode? Did you need to change anything for this?
No, really. We had like the last couple of scrims we had hadn't played really well, so it was more like saying to myself that I needed to play better. So it's not really like adjusting to MONGI mode in particular. It's just like me trying to be a better player, because I usually play well against like top 3 teams, and when we play against lesser teams, I'm not as focused as I should be. So like it happened against the Theories on Sunday, for example. So I knew that's one thing I need to improve on, and I don't know. I felt like I did that okay. I don't know. I feel like I've been lucky sometimes. Like on Logjam, I think they bombed 5 players on me, and I was lucky enough to fall on the health pack, so it saved me. So yeah, I guess it was a lucky day.
Very, very nice indeed. Who do you think... Doey actually has a question for you, wondering, do you think MONGI mode is better than Theorists?
I don't know.
Don't know.
If
Okay.
Doey needs me to boost his ego, maybe he has a problem.
Incredible. Congratulations, Koff, on that win as well, and welcome to the Mumble as well. How do you feel coming out the back of that one, Koff?
Logjam wise, fairly happy. Gully was closer than I wanted, obviously, seeing as we got the 7-2 against the Theorist, and only 3-2 here, but 6 points is 6 points.
Indeed, indeed. Any questions from you, Eames?
This is the question that I think I ask you at every single interview.
Mm-hmm.
But I was speculating that it was after 5 minutes of logjam that you started getting...
I don't think anything happened in our mumble.
Really?
Nothing happened in our mumble. No one was upset. I think that we just realised that they were significantly better at logjam than us. Like, we'd had, as I said, we had some really bad scrims on it. We didn't really have a proper idea of how to play it. And so I don't think anyone was too upset at anyone except ourselves for just being terrible at that map.
Okay, and following on from that, I think, well, I'll explain about this in a second, but it was almost every single mid, I was picking up on it at the end. Polly and Josh would do a hyper on turret would die, and then Faint would play passive and choke. And did you pick up on that? Was there an attempt to deal with it, or were you just too involved in the game to notice?
I think that we did try to deal with it, but it obviously didn't work. Like, we tried different things on mid, but we don't really have an idea of what we're doing on that map. Like, it's a new map. It's also really terrible. But yeah.
Okay.
I really hate the public for putting that map in the season.
Oh. Well, it was a vote, wasn't it? In the end, it was between 2 Koth maps and Logjam.
To be honest, it would be really nice to see 2 Koth maps in ETF2L, because then people will actually play Koth map in the off season.
It's not a really good reason.
And so just following up on my question to Yak, was the thing I mentioned of the high bombing onto turret and playing passive and choke, was that a specific strat, or was that planned out before the game, Koff and Umbreak, or was that just something that you noticed was working?
As far as I'm concerned, it's not something we talked about. We mostly, when we talk about mids, we mostly talk about how we're gonna go aggressive, not really how we're gonna hold around me. And then on Logjam, I fairly picked up that if I want to survive, I need to press my S key. Sorry,
your siege,
the siege key.
So I did that, and sometimes it really disconnects me from everyone else. Like I think it happened on the second before last mid push or something, mid fight.
Yeah, there was one of them where you ended up like all the way out of the Saw log room, and I was just in choke, and I had no idea where you were. But
I don't. It's a really wide map, so sometimes you, like when the soldier bombs you, you need to hit the really wide surf and you end up being extremely far away. So yeah, I think it's still about finding the right balance between surfing away and trying to stick around to your pocket scout. But as people pretty much don't really know how to play the map yet, I feel like we can afford to make that mistakes right now.
There was one player that I wanted to talk about as well. It was a really awesome play coming out from you guys on Brackenkoff, where you went and you wrapped them through log room onto second when they started to push in mid, and it was just a beautifully executed play. Is that something you've tried before, or is it something that's just sort of like popped out during the game?
We had never done that before. That was
nice.
Smear's call after the fail. What was it, a fail last push? I don't remember.
Yeah, you lost 3 players on a sack.
Yeah, we lost 3 players, but we got the force, didn't we? So
yeah,
I thought, let's just hide and pray that they don't check us, and they didn't.
Yeah, I think we sent someone cave, but we didn't send anyone log room. So what can you do? What can you do?
But that's the thing with the map. Like, there's so many hiding spots that people don't really know about yet. It's really hard to know if you can afford to spare a player to go on the flank, like on the 2 flanks. So
and it's so big. Like the map is so big. It's so hard. It's so hard to cover everything. Like, we've not played it much, but from what I've seen, a lot of people like play on the flank, go for back caps, especially when teams are pushing from mid to second. The other team likes to send a player onto the spire because it is really hard to go and block it. Like, if a soldier jumps a scout there, the scout can just so easily deny him. It's just weird. It's a really weird map to play.
You spammed 20 pipes at me on that fence and missed every single one.
I was just pressuring you.
With the pressure gameplay coming
You didn't cap. We almost got a lot. Did we get a last push off that? Was that like the only round we got?
No.
No.
That was after the first mid.
Was it?
Yeah, and then Matt jumped in and killed Josh in cave.
I don't. Was this on our second?
That was. You won the first mid.
Oh shit!
All right, boys.
We did all right.
Matt talks later, boys. We're gonna go to shout outs from each of the players and start to round it up. So, Eames, any shout outs from you?
Shout out to my team and my LAN team, whoever that may be.
Beautiful. Koff, any shout outs from you?
Shout out to my team. Shout out to Hobin for the support. Shout out to MONGI Mode for the good game. And shout out to you guys for the cast.
Ombrak.
Shout out to Fane, my team, to Josh, who's been pretty much Merc all the time. Is that still a Merc when you play 3 weeks in a row? I don't know. Shout out to Matthias for still being there and playing the games. And people who cast and watch and shit talk me in chat, and except Eames. But yeah.
And Yak.
Yeah, a shout out to Torrit and Matt Hez for making up their differences. Yeah, that's it really.
That's some love. I'd like to give a big shout out to Fane Gaming. Thank you guys for sponsoring the tournament. Very nice from you guys to do that.
Thanks, Ombrak.
It's actually my money, so
welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Ombrak. Also, a big shout out to Copenhagen Games, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo! That's going to be exciting, is it not? Everyone excited?
Are you going?
Yes, should be.
See you at.
See you at.
Oh my god.
So that's a big shout out to Rush Gaming as well. Shout out to wiethoofd on production as well, guys. And that is all from us today for our games. So this has been Lucky, joined by Eames with wiethoofd on production. Thanks, guys, for the wonderful interviews, and we'll catch you next time.